Liels and Chimanyau, Kechimalea, Inenen Chimampotawane Waloturia. Hi everyone. So today I would like to talk about the four sacred medicines. This is coming from a Yaqui and Mexica perspective, but across many native traditions within the US and Canada, as well as parts of northern Mexico. There are four sacred medicines that are honored. So that being cedar, sage, tobacco, and sweetgrass. And so, like I said, I'm speaking from my own experience. I am a Yaqui, so here within the US, I'm considered a Southwestern native. But in Mexico, Yaquis, we are considered Northern natives. But then, adding in my Mexica roots, I am a Central native to Mexico. So these medicines, they are, widespread among many nations, but each nation has their own teaching. So the first medicine I would like to talk about is right here. So this is cedar. In Yaqui or in Yaqui or Yomnoki, so the Yaqui language, we call cedar takali. So you spell it Tahkl or Kali. And cedar, it grows in forests, so more from like the Pacific Northwest to like the Rockies. So it's an evergreen. It's a very aromatic tree, and when it is burned, cedar smoke, it protects us and it purifies us. And for those who go to sweats, so sweat lodges or temazcales, um, the cedar will cover the floor. In Yaqui tradition, cedar smoke, it helps us open, or like it helps open the lungs, and it helps ease congestion. We also make cedar tea as well, and when cedar is placed in fires, it will crackle, and it calls the attention to our spirits and attention to our offerings. And cedar reminds us that medicine is also in the air when someone is ill, as cedar's natural oils refresh the space and bring ease to us and to our space. And then we have sage. So this is specifically white sage. So to say sage in Yaqui, we say chiichivo. So it's, if I can remember correctly, CH'Ichivo. So sage, it thrives in the deserts, like more drier climates, and it's often, sometimes bundled. I prefer, and how I was taught, we keep it loose, in abalone shells. And for us Yaquis, after ceremonies, or just when we're not wearing our traditional jewelry, so like our maso pusims, or ojo de venados, our pascola necklaces, or our kusims, if we're not hanging them up like some people tend to do, we will lay them in sage inside of an abalone shell. And sage keeps them cleansed and blessed. And sage also prepares people for ceremony and cleans, or like clears away negativity and cleanses our homes and our sacred items. And it's both medicinal and spiritual, and it's central to many ceremonies, pretty much for almost every nation now. And then the next medicine I want to talk about is tobacco, or in Yaqui, we call it viva. So it's commonly known throughout many nations as the first medicine, and it is said from a lot of nations that it was given so we could communicate with the spirit world. And for tobacco is, it's usually offered first. Like, what's a good way to explain this? It's like I guess you could say like the key inside, like the turning of a key in an ignition. Um, so it activates all other medicines. And when we offer tobacco, whether it be, to the earth, to our elders, our spirits, we're expressing thanks. And in Yaqui tradition, we more often use rabbit tobacco specifically. And in our ceremonies, you'll tend to see our dancers, our musicians, elders, other people will be smoking cigarettes because, the tobacco in them is blessings, especially because when we are in our ceremonies or our pacos, they are blessings for like during our prayer. And when asking, it can be for our dancers, so like our pascolas and our maso. If we're asking someone or an elder to host something, or we're asking for knowledge or for them to be somewhere with us, we offer them our ceremonial cigarettes. So tobacco is sacred, and it's for us, well, for many now, is not smoked recreationally in our ceremonies, but it's more of a way to open up open up prayer. And then we have sweetgrass. Now, sweetgrass is called, the hair of Mother Earth because, you braid sweetgrass, and which is why some say is why we braid hair. Um, and it grows more in the northern prairies, and it's long, it's, really long blades of grass that are braided together. Now, us Yaquis, we don't traditionally use it. I personally, I don't have sweetgrass. I don't have that medicine with me. Um, but, and because of that, Yaquis, we don't really have a name for it. So I myself, kind of for this video, tried making my own, I guess, name for it. So the name that I kind of came up for it was Hiutia Ame. So Hiutia, it means fragrant or sweet smelling or just something that smells good. And then Waame, it means grass. So Hiutia Waame means, like sweet and grass. So it is used for purification. Um, and sometimes people often use it after burning sage or just using sage in general. And sweetgrass, it reminds us of the gentleness and invites in good spirits. And now I do want to add a little bit of, caring for these medicines. So traditionally, we keep these medicines dry. Traditionally, you keep them in like a brown paper bag or in a wooden box. You can even keep them in a glass jar or even like a small tin. Um, and for many people, they say if you smoke, use any kind of drugs or alcohol, you have to wait at least a couple of days before using them. I personally say if you can go minimum 1 full day, so 24 hours, um, without using drugs or alcohol to then use these medicines, go ahead. But others tend to say 3 days or 4 days. Some even say a whole week. Um, and it's just because, as you know, because you have poison in your body, you don't want to be handling something that's a blessing. Um, and then also traditionally, and what I've been taught by a multitude of people is that you don't want to keep these medicines on the floor. You want them to at least be just a little bit elevated, um, unless you're using in ceremony and it can be there for like a little bit, but you don't want to just leave them laying on the floor, because that's disrespectful. And also, some people like to even just tie them up in little baggies. So like you can get you can make like a tobacco tie, for example. You can keep them and then you can just tie them up in the bag and keep them in there. But yeah, so as many people, as our understanding grows, we honor these different ways and these different teachings in medicine. But I do also, for our younger people and for other people, really. I just want, to warn caution, because a lot of people will claim, titles that they haven't earned. So, someone will say they're a medicine person or someone that practices medicine and or, any other like name. So for us, it would be like a curandero or a curandera or anything like that. But, they'll claim these titles in which they haven't earned. And it's important to, seek uh, like information from trusted elders or actual respected medicine people when you're trying to learn and get some information. And this medicine, it guides us, but you know it's through proper teachings that we honor them. And when I speak from the Southwest or Central Mexico, these medicines are our connection to our spirit and the earth. So yeah, this is kind of a little teaching I wanted to share this week on here. If you have anything else that you would like to learn or any questions, feel free to comment below. And yeah, I hope you all have a great day. Get some food, get some water, get some rest, and please take care of yourselves. And I pray that you all stay protected, especially during these times. So, tuwa lios and chimioko te siabu, in lios apu and chimak. Chukula. I'll see you next time.